Hi, I am Tat Thompson, and I am the Vessel of Aries for Spring Mysteries 40th. To be the Vessel of Aries this year for me is a big deal because I think it's very interesting that when they go to do casting, they don't know our astrological charts, but it often overlaps that there's a big energy within that astrological chart that lines up with the lessons you're supposed to learn from that deity that year. And for me, Aries is a really big portion of my astrological chart this year. He's guiding a lot of portions, a lot of things about this. And so I love the fact that I'm getting to do this Aries energy in a very real way. I'm getting to work with it in my personal life. I'm getting to bring it to the mysteries. I'm getting to understand this deity in a different, deeper level, which in turn helps me convey the story and to invoke better and to be able to bring the story and the lessons to the patrons that come to see him in a way deeper light and understanding. And that is why it's so important for me this year to be Aries, is that we're getting to do this in a deep dive fashion. It's pretty cool. Ooh, how to know I was ready to hold Aries? That's a great question because I've never like gotten to the point where it's like, oh, I'm now ready to hold this deity. It's not really been my decision. It was you go when you're called. And my mom came to me last year and said, hey, I have a situation. I need you to be able to be Aries, or not Aries, but or Eros. Let me start this over. Uh, I had a situation last year where my mom came to me and I said, hey, we need you to be Eros. Can you do that? And I was like, sure. And so over the course of doing that Eros fashion is where she saw, I can put you in other roles and other things like that. I know that you can handle this experience, which she knew before, but it's nice to see it in practice after so long of being off the stage. And I didn't think anything of it when I first got to the point of going, oh, are you ready to do this? If I wasn't ready, I wouldn't be asked. If I wasn't ready, I wouldn't be called. And it's trusting in your teachers, and it's trusting in the goddess to know that these are the lessons you're supposed to learn right now. The goddess is never going to put anything in your life that you're not ready, willing, and capable of being able to handle. And so I didn't really put much thought into me being ready. I was chosen to be. Ooh, the biggest surprise is the money. Okay, I did not expect him to be like, okay, big boy, your money situation, we got to sort it. Because like you cannot fund an army with no money. And like it's the financial discipline that comes into going, we have to feed the family, we got to do the things, we got to get this sorted so that we can have the stuff that we need to be able to do to run forward. And so that was the biggest thing that surprised me. I expected the heat and the passion and a little bit of the anger and the control when it comes to those things, but the money aspect of it was really surprising. Aries affects my daily life because I have always had trouble when it comes to controlling my temper. And I got a handle on that. But Aries brings in so much other passion about so many other things that you find, at least I have found myself going, ooh, that's a big emotion. I don't normally have a big emotion in that reaction. That's a lot of anxiety. I don't normally have anxiety in that big emotion. And getting a bigger scale of those things really teaches you to take it and harness it and put it in a little ball and then use it after the fact. And so that is really the thing that has changed and has affected my life the most, is paying attention to our financial discipline and paying attention to our emotional discipline. Aries' energetic contribution to the story is that with change comes emotion. And with longing for something bigger comes discipline. And his entire interaction with Corey and teaching her the dances and going through this process is really important to her understanding that when you grow into adulthood and when you grow into change and when you grow into marriage, you have to look at you first. You have to look at your emotions and take a step back and be in control of yourself so that you can then harness that passion and that energy and transition it into what you need to be able to convey to the other person in your life. And her having to learn that lesson, it's one of the most important lessons we as people understand. Because if you walk into a room guns a-blazing and screaming and everybody, nobody's going to hear you. But if you walk into a room collected and controlled and commanding the environment, you'll get results every time. So that's why it's important.
Hello, my name is Victor Malinsky, middle child of Lady Mary Malinsky, and I am the votary of Eleusis. In past, my brother held the title, and when he stepped away, it was passed to Sean. And when a different deity called his name, he selected me to succeed him. Encouraging them to have proper body health, so knowing their limits, stretching, and making sure that they feel included in physical activities, even if they aren't physically able to do them alongside us. That there is a lot of misinformation about him, and that most oftentimes the stories of him get confused with the stories of Mars. And so he gets misrepresented, and people are misinformed about what he is. Ensuring that the messages that he has brought to people in the past stay forward and they do not get diluted. The information that is actually true preserved, and the messages that he continues to deliver year by year remain, and people receive them properly without misconstruing them with a different message. Making sure that everyone is respected and treated properly and their needs are met, whilst also making sure that they are also given the same respect.